Hi everyone, it's Vicky, aka Venus, and Mr. Mars and I went to the movies today. Stormy day in Florida, so I said, honey, take me to the movies and I'll make you some banana bread. So we did. So I can smell the banana bread, it's cooling now. So what did we see? We went and saw A Man Called Otto that stars Tom Hanks. And yeah, so it was an enjoyable movie. Let me tell you a little bit about it. I'll share what is out there in the media already in the description of the movie. It is about a man who's kind of lost his lust for life after his wife passed away and he retired. Kind of was maybe pushed into retirement a little bit or urged and nudged into it maybe. But anyway, so he's kind of lost his lust for life. But then the neighbor, a new neighbor moves in and she's really vibrant and maybe a little pushy on him, kind of forcing him into being friendly or whatever. And it kind of, between that and rekindling some relationships with old neighbors, kind of brings him back a bit. Yeah, it's an interesting concept because I've spent a lot of time with seniors and I do know that, and I'm just generalizing here, but I do know that there's issues with, grumpy old men. Remember the movie Grumpy Old Men? And the guys who yell, get off my lawn, and depression or whatever with elderly, as they don't feel as useful or things that they used to be able to do, they can't do. Even I feel that sometimes. And I'm just 65, so, and that's probably about his age in this movie, I guess. But anyway, for whatever reasons, losing his wife, his job, like I say, he was not really forced out, but he became the old guy, and I can totally understand that. Kind of was the same way when I left my job, that my age was something maybe this younger people mentioned a bit or joked about or said things about. It didn't really hurt my feelings, but it was weird that why are we talking about my age and not their age and their lack of experience? Why are we talking about my age and my experience? I don't know. But anyway, so the movie. I will tell you that if you are triggered by people unaliving themselves, then you might want to think whether you go to this movie or not. It does not contain that action, but it does contain the planning of, preparations of, attempts of, whatever, all the leading up to it. So if that is something that for some reason triggers you, then don't watch the movie. Or in my opinion, I wouldn't watch the movie if I was triggered by that. So it is, I asked Jerry when it was over, what do you think? And he said he thought it was a tough movie to watch, but that it had a sweet ending. I kind of had the opposite. I thought the ending was the hardest part. It ends right though, it's okay. The ending is bittersweet, but it's right and it's okay. I asked, there was a lady in the restroom. I always ask strangers too. I know I shouldn't talk to strangers. Sorry, Mom. But she had read the book and she said that the movie was much sadder than the book. And I didn't really see the movie as that sad necessarily. I mean, there was a coming together of people, which I thought was good. There was someone who felt lost and unneeded suddenly was enveloped by another family, community, and he kind of did the same for others. So, I thought it was a pretty good movie. I would definitely, I would recommend it. It has funny parts, but it's not a comedy. And it has some dramatic moments, but it's not really high drama either. It's just, to me, it's just sort of a even flow movie. Does that make sense? I don't really see a huge climax in it. There's one character in it, the woman with the dog, that he kind of confronts. He confronts a lot of people at the beginning, and anyway, I'm not going to tell you every detail about it. But she just kind of disappears in it. I mean, she's in it a couple scenes, and then she's not. So that was kind of odd to me that they dropped a character like they did that in Avatar with a character. So I kind of wondered in the end, what happened to her? But anyway, so no, it's I think it's a movie worth seeing as long as you're not triggered, by people considering to unalive themselves. So yeah, it's a thumbs up for me, and I believe it was a thumbs up for Jerry. I didn't really ask him that specific question, but it's definitely, there's a lot of moments that if you're a person who gets brought to tears, I am not. It will definitely bring you to tears, and I did see and hear some tears. Not bawling, but every once in a while I get misty-eyed at something, and I didn't feel that. I did feel a sensation maybe once or twice, but I didn't really feel that. But it was very, and parts of it were very funny. Like, here he is, this older guy, he doesn't have a cell phone, he uses a landline, and he's just kind of old school. And a woman, after an event, a woman shows up at his house wanting to interview him. And she says, I am, what does she call it, a social media journalist. And he's like, what is that? It's just funny. So it shows worlds collide a little bit. So anyway, yeah, I liked it, and I think Jerry enjoyed it too. And yeah, definitely, I would definitely recommend it. And Tom Hanks is a great actor. I've always liked Tom Hanks, and I think he did a good job in this, as did some of his fellow actors. So thumbs up from me.